马克·列维特 Marc Leavitt 生于1969年。20岁那年时开始对灵性成长感兴趣，于大学期间便勤于修习冥想，并取得心理学及哲学学位。之后深受东方哲学尤其不二致的吸引，一边在睡眠实验室工作，一边继续他的灵性学习，探索意识拓展的可能性及自我的真相，终至开悟。开悟日记作者马克·列维特 Marc Leavitt 灵修与开悟的关系2013年8月13日。
Hi, my name is Mark, and today I'm going to answer the question, what is the relationship between spiritual practice and enlightenment? Specifically, the question was, if millions of people practice enlightenment, why do so few people get anything out of it? And another question somebody wanted me to add to that was, why do teachers seem to contradict themselves by saying there's nothing to practice, there are no spiritual practice to perform, but then they give you 9 things to do, how to get there. Okay, so the first thing I realized was there's a lot of different ways you could answer that question, a lot of different angles you could take. The first thing that came to my mind actually was that everybody is getting what they want. When it comes to meditation practice or anything, everybody's getting exactly what they want, whether they realize it or not. And I'll explain to you what I mean by that. We really have to look at the word want. I'll use myself as an example. I could say, if you'd ask me, do I want to be a millionaire, I'd say yes. If you, do I want to be a great guitar player, I'd say yes. But yet, when I examine my life, there's no evidence that I want to do any of those things. I'm not doing anything to advance any of those causes. Yet, on some level, you know, who wouldn't want to be a great piano player, or a great musician, or a millionaire, or how to fly, or anything? So, we really have to examine our lives to see what we really want. And what I think is that everybody's getting exactly what they want. It may not be on a conscious level, but on an actual level, I think that everybody's getting exactly what they want. But I don't want to get sidetracked with that, because I think it's a whole separate conversation. If somebody wants me to go into that, I could do a whole separate thing on that. But what I want to take for this particular talk is that it's not enough to want enlightenment. Just like it's not enough to want to become an Olympic athlete, or to want to become a virtuoso singer, or anything. It's not enough to want it. It has to be the only thing that you want. You have to be so one-pointed. You have to be so fixated on it. You basically have to be obsessed, like a crazy person. That's why in my book I talked about the biggest influence for me was a book called Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda, which is a true story about a guy from India who had just an obsession with self-realization. And that book was a huge inspiration to me, because I realized that's what I wanted. I wanted nothing else but self-realization. For me, it was more important than my family, my life, my career, or anything. It was the only thing that I wanted. And fortunately for me, I happened to marry a wife where we both had the same values, so we both agreed with that. So I still got to have a happy life with my happy wife. But bottom line is, I just got lucky there. The truth is I wanted enlightenment, self-realization more than anything. And that is the first thing. The second thing is the fearlessness. So if the first aspect is the resoluteness, you have to be resolute. In other words, that has to be all you want, the main focus, the only thing. The second thing I think is fearlessness. You have to first, consider what is enlightenment. If enlightenment means anything, it means seeing your own true nature. And seeing your own true nature means, in a way, that you're going to have to die to a certain understanding, to a certain belief, to a certain experience, a certain way of living. And this takes us back to the first video, spiritual practice is suicide. The reason that I think spiritual practice feels like suicide is because, as I pointed out in the first video, awareness oscillates between inactive awareness and active awareness. And if you're only aware of the active aspects of awareness, if you're not aware of the other half of your life, inactive awareness, then it's going to feel like death when you do start to become more aware of inactive awareness. It'll put the active part of awareness into more of a proper context, and it'll make it seem less real. And to point that out in a different way, for the purpose of this conversation, I drew some different pictures where we have form manifesting, or awareness manifesting as different types of form, whether it be a human form, a rabbit, a tree, an alien, amoeba, or a ghost. It's all still aware space. And your job as someone who's looking for enlightenment is to see your true nature. So your true nature is to see yourself not as whatever you're manifesting as, whatever you're shaped as, whatever your form is taking place as, but your job is to see what your true nature is, which is the waveform itself. And this also explains why the mystics tell you that there's no practice to perform, there's nothing to do, you're already it, you're already here, you're already what you're looking for. As you can see, you already are the aware space that's manifesting as a person or a rabbit or a chicken or whatever. No matter what you manifest as, it's always the same aware space that's manifesting as the form. So there is nothing for you to do. You're already here, no matter what you're envisioning or experiencing, you're always it. You're always what you're looking for, which is the aware space. However, you don't know that. If you take yourself as the person, or the rabbit, or the tree, or the alien, or the amoeba, or the ghost, if you take yourself to be the identity or the form that you're shaped as, then you don't see that you're actually it. But if you want to experience it for yourself, if you want to actually see your true nature, then you do have to go through practices. And what is the practice? Well, if enlightenment is the goal, enlightenment is seeing your own true nature, then the practice would be looking for your own true nature. And that would be by looking for the still aspect of yourself, the unmoving aspect of yourself, the aspect of yourself that's always there, not the part that appears and disappears. And going back to the original question of why do so few people have success with meditation, as I said earlier, I feel like everybody's having their own level of success with meditation for whatever level of want that they're putting into it. So it just comes down to how resolute and how fearless you are in your practice of meditation. So hope I answered your question. If you have any more, let me know. Thank you.
本影片到此结束，感谢阅读，祝福早日登出回家。